Hi everyone, thank you for joining me on live. I am working on this oil pastel paintings. So I thought to go live and share what I'm doing. There are quite many layers, like I can say 5 to 6 layers I have already applied. And when we are working on realism, it takes some times, right? So there is a difference between realistic painting, semi realistic painting, and abstract painting. You can create any, but the thing is, when we are looking for the quality in our painting, so we have to have that patience within us because it will going to take some time and you will going to see the results. Okay, I work on multiple medium like acrylic, charcoal, oil paintings, watercolors. But I personally love oil pastels because I just need pastels and a paper and some of the tools. So, like these are the blending stumps, then I have cotton bud and this toothpick, just a one brush and one palette knife. So this is what I need. I don't need much stuff, and even though I don't use these all this stuff frequently, I mostly prefer to work with fingers. So yeah, this is what it takes to create the realistic paintings. So even if you have the small setup, it will work for you. You don't need to have the multiple things. Okay. And the reason I was started with oil pastels is because I used to procrastinate a lot. I think that first I need this material, I want to set up my workspace, then I'm going to work on it, right? But here I don't have to wait for anything. I just grab my materials and I start. Oil pastels is easy to understand. You just need to understand the right pressure and then keep working layer by layer. So we start from light to dark. So this is generally my approach, that I always start from light to dark. In that case, I have a room for adding lots of tones and colors. Okay. So if you want, you can try it out for yourself and just see how is the experience. You are going to love it. In starting, it is little bit tricky to understand how to work with pastels, but once you understand, it will become your favorite medium. If you have any questions for me, you can ask me. Any doubt, any questions you have related to oil pastels, you can ask. I am using Gallery Mungio oil pastel set. Thank you, Teren. Thank you for joining, guys. Thank you for supporting. If you would like to watch these kind of follow along videos, or if you want to do it along with me, just let me know so that I can arrange these type of sessions for you all. And if you are interested to know more about oil pastels and you want to join, so I have a community on WhatsApp. You just need to DM me or just comment below that you need to join oil pastels community. You can join. So sometimes I randomly plan these type of um, 1 day workshop or challenges or 5 day challenge, so where you can work along with me. And You don't need any drawing and painting skills to start any kind of painting, right? If you have any questions for me, you can ask me. Have you ever painted with oil pastels? Okay, let me ask this question. And if you have painted, then how was the experience? And most of the people they ask me why you say that you are painting with oil pastels, right? But we call it a drawing, oil pastel drawings. But when we are more in detail and it's kind of a realism, so then we call it a painting. Okay. And if you're just creating 2D kind of works or impression kind of works, then you can say you are working on oil pastel drawings. But in realism, we call it a painting. And I'm going to make it as realistic as possible. So I'm just applying color on top. There are multiple layers, like 5 to 6 layers, and I don't want to disturb my base layers. So what I'm doing, I'm just softly putting layer on top instead of dragging, mixing, and then with finger, what I do, I just dab it. That way it becomes part of that subject, right? So here, if you see this section, it looks like it is sitting on top, right? So if we have to show the under layers, how we can show that? You can simply clean your fingers. See, my fingers are quite dirty. You just clean it nicely, and then after that you try to dab with finger. So we are not blending, we are not shifting backs from here to there, we are just dabbing. Now dabbing, what it will do, it will automatically fix the layer and it will start looking like as this is base of water. Okay, or you can see multiple underlayers. And then what else we can do with oil pastels? See, it's very simple. You just need to understand the techniques. It's easy medium. You just need to understand the right pressure. There are three kind of pressure, which is low, medium, high. And we generally work from low pressure to medium pressure. High pressure, we don't use it. High pressure, mostly beginner they apply because they think if we want to blend oil pastel, so we need to put more pressure. But that is not true. You just need to apply low to medium pressure and let's it will work. Okay. Even if you're working with hard pastels, I love to work with hard pastels. These are quite soft, not very soft, but I can say these are medium soft. Again, I have these another pastel. This is again from Munkyo, and this is also medium soft, right? So I also have the hard pastels, and hard pastels are even much easy to blend. and you can create as realistic work as you want. Okay, so whether you want to give the oil painting kind of impression, or you want to give um, watercolor kind of impression, that is also possible, right? So depending upon what kind of reference images you are working on, we select the pastels. Sometimes we use combination of different pastels like soft, medium and hard. We use a combination of these pastels. And sometimes if we are just working on blurry kind of things, so we use soft pastels. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just trying to gently go with my finger on top. So I want to get rid of these sharp edges. Okay, because if edges are sharp, so it looks like sitting on top of layers. So we are just softening these edges so it becomes the part of that water, right? It looks like one thing. So gently, we are not shifting, moving, nothing. And once we do this kind of dabbing, again we apply the another layer. So this is ongoing process. We keep applying colors. And then my suggestion will be, don't just work on one area for a long period of time. What happens when we work on one area for a long time? Um, we don't see details much. So it's better you work on one area for some time and then switch to another area. So let's suppose I'm working on this area and I can take a break from this area and I can start working on the bottom area. So what will happen? You have taken break from this area and then you are working on bottom area. So when you will go back to this area, again your eyes can see new information here and you will see a lot of things. Okay, so it's very important to take breaks in between. So this is what I suggest to my students, that whenever you are working on your painting, just take good healthy breaks and then just come and work after some time. Okay. So I'm adding new layers on top and then again I'm trying to blend it little bit. And if you want to see what is my reference image, so I'm going to show you. See, this is the reference image that I'm working on, and I am 50% close to this one. So 50% work I have done. There is a lot to add, and here is my reference image. So when we are working with a realistic painting, first of all, we don't have to hurry. And believe me, it's quite easy because we are working on just elements of art. And what are elements of art? Like we are just focusing on line, shapes, color, form, value, space, texture. So every time I see something, I will add that detail. So that means I am working part by part, stroke by stroke. Okay. You don't have to see all the information at one time. So it's always good to work on one small area and then you shift to another area. And if you try to work everywhere, then it will not going to help you. Work on one area, focus on it, see what details are there, what things you can see. Is it line, is it shape, is it color, what you can see exactly in that area, right? And then you start working on it. But the thing is, it only takes time and you should have patience. So generally, these type of pieces we finish in 5 to 6 hours, but then we don't finish in one go. We always take time. Now I'm going to take a break from this area and I'm going to work on this duck part. I always clean my fingers. So first I'm going to soften these edges. And when you are working on lighter portion, like here is a lot of glow and light I want to add. So every time you clean your finger first and then go. And if you can't do that, so it's better you pick the fresh blending stem and you just blend some of the areas this way. Okay, this is also possible, but make sure you keep every blending stem separate. So if you're working on lighter area, use only one portion. If you're working on darker area, so you can use another portion. So this way you can keep the values fresh and bright and glowing. I generally prefer to work with finger. Tomorrow I'm planning to work for more long period of time on this piece, and I'm planning to finish this. So if you are interested, you can join me at same time, and I will show you the process from here, how I'm going to work on it and how I'm going to finish it. Right? So if you are interested, you can just watch how I'm doing. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. So I'm trying to set the details so that I can add new layers on top. So slowly we are going to add more things, adding new details. So it's quite fun. Right now I'm focusing on lightest light, darkest dark, and the medium tones. If you focus on these three type of tones, your work will start looking like a realistic. Okay, so you don't have to put a lot of things. Just focus on darkest dark, lightest light, and the medium tones. That's it. I will apply half on top, so no pressure at all, just putting on top And then gently with my finger, I'm blending the top layer. Okay, not disturbing the base one. And we have to keep these shape organic, so don't try to make things clean, clear, and lines should not be visible that much. So you have to keep in mind that things should be messy, right? Don't look for the perfectionism. And if you're thinking how I'm doing these thin lines with oil pastels, so it's very easy. You must be thinking it's quite broad from here, but sometime if you need to work on thin lines, then you can use the back side of pastel. I can manage with broad side, but in initial phase you need to work with the edges part. So one side you can always keep crisp, fresh, just to work on these type of thin lines, right? These thin lines when we add. Sorry guys, I can't understand what you are writing because I only understand English and my native language, Hindi. So if you can speak in English or if you can just type in English, I can answer your questions. Or if you are just saying hi, so I'm not able to understand if you're saying hi to me. Okay, have you ever worked with this medium, oil pastels? Let me see if you have used this medium or not. See, we can create the realistic painting just with pastels, right? Nothing I'm using here, just pastels. So it's so easy to work. Only you need to understand the right pressure. And then we have the different techniques that help us to create the realism. When we are working on glowing areas, it's very important to keep cleaning your pastels. Otherwise, we are going to lose those vibrant tones. So I'm roughly adding on top, I'm not blending. And then slowly with my finger, I'm going to gently dab it. If you're interested to learn about this medium, you can just comment that, just say oil pastels, and I will share the link of joining my community where you can join, and you don't need any drawing and painting skills to start with oil pastels. Everything will be taught. My aim is to create the glowing areas more glowing. So even if we go wrong with oil pastels, it's very easy to fix it. We don't have to worry much. Okay. If any area you feel like it's wrong, you have dulled down that area or it's too dark. So we can lift the colors again. Everything is possible. These two cute little ducks I'm going to work tomorrow, not today, because I don't want to hurry with the things. I believe in quality. Oops. So we increase the value slowly, step by step. Follow how lines are looking, how it is going. Move in the direction of form. And if you struggle to get thin lines with broad pastels, you just what you can do, you can just use the fresh part of the pastel, the side, instead of using the broad side. So you can keep one side safe always for thin, tiny lines and detail works, and one side you can use for the major part of a painting. So I'm working on this area, and here I'm showing you how I'm adding those lines. Okay, then I can work on some of the darker areas. So let's start working from here first. Let me add the fresh color on top. Just adding the rough strokes. So I have so far finished a 60% of painting, 40% still remaining. But I am going to work tomorrow now in this piece. And yeah, so I'll try to finish it off. If you have any feedbacks, any questions, anything, just type it down. Just comment and I will answer. I just want to say that don't drag with your dirty finger on top of lighter values, otherwise, it can completely disturb the work, right? And how to bring more smoothness and softness to the work. This I am going to show tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, um, 8 p.m. IST. I'll come live and I will try to finish this piece. Are you liking it? What is the response, guys? Can you share your response, your thoughts about this one? Um, I'm looking for that darker shade which I can't find right now. So sometimes we have to be resourceful, if something is not working or you don't have that color, so just pick something else, what you can use in that area. So I'm using black directly, but I avoid using blacks on my painting, or I will use when I don't have any other option, right? So, but I'm using it very less, just 1%, just to add some depth, some dimension. A little bit of value. So I'm not pressing hard, just putting on top, and then I'm going to blend with finger very gently. And when you want to apply less pressure and you want to apply less pastel on your paper, what do? You hold your pastel from backside instead of holding from here. If you hold this way, you will accidentally put a lot of pressure and then you will get the dark pastel, right? But with the same pastel, when you want to get a light touches or light impression, so you hold the pastel from backside, and then it's not possible to put much pressure, right? This way you can control. I'm just adding one dark tone here, and then I'm going to finish this. Like, I'm going to end for today. And this is not finished. Oh, it's only 60% of painting is done, and rest I will finish it today, tomorrow. So when we are working on realism, it takes time. You just need to have patience, but it is not difficult at all, because you are just following the values, you are following lines, you are following how shapes are looking in that area. That's it. This is what we are doing. And I'm randomly putting strokes just to add more depths. So this is it for today, and rest I will do it tomorrow. So yeah, thank you for joining me, and see you tomorrow at same time. And yeah, we are going to finish this painting. Bye for now.